Good morning, Europe. It is Tuesday, the 30th of August. I'm Helena Humphrey. Here are your top stories.
President Zelensky tells Russian forces to flee as Ukrainian troops say they're making progress in the battle to reclaim Kherson. Pakistan appeals for urgent international aid as officials say a third of the country is now underwater and 33 million people have been affected by catastrophic floods. And a day of violent protests in Iraq. 15 people have been killed as protesters storm the presidential palace after influential cleric Muqtada al-Sadr says he's leaving politics. Ukrainian military claims to have broken through Russia's first line of defence in the occupied Kherson region, nearly a day after launching its counter-offensive in the south.
Ukraine is returning its own, and it will return the Kharkiv region, Luhansk region, Donetsk region, Zaporizhia region, Kherson region, Crimea, definitely our entire water area of the Black Sea and the Sea of Azov. This will happen. This is ours.
All this as Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky awards soldiers killed in combat the Golden Star Medal, calling them the heroes of Ukraine, gifting their family the country's highest honor. Russian-appointed Kherson officials are denying any Ukrainian counter-offensive in the region.
No one liberates the Kherson region and the city of Kherson. And the more Zelensky, who is driven by the West, declares offensives, the more people want a referendum.
The arduous task of cleaning up again underway in the southern city of Mykolaiv. Russian shelling hit homes there on Monday, killing at least 2 people. A major transportation hub, Mykolaiv has suffered heavy, continuous bombardments throughout the war.
This is Europe's biggest nuclear power plant. It's in Ukraine and is currently under Russian occupation. Both Kyiv and Moscow are accusing each other of shelling around the facility. The potential for a nuclear incident is very real, and fears were increased last week when the plant was briefly knocked offline. But inspectors are now on their way. A team from the International Atomic Energy Agency will soon be at the plant to undertake urgent safeguards, assess damage, determine its functionality, and evaluate staff working conditions. A move welcomed by everyone.
We have waited for a long time for this mission, and we consider it necessary. Security will be provided to the IAEA mission at the necessary level in the parts of territories under Russian control, considering the risks that consistently prevail there that are related to the ceaseless sharing of the territory by the Ukrainian side.
And keeping the plant safe is of international concern.
We have a common concern. Firstly, nuclear safety and security shouldn't be compromised in this war, so this mission is important. It must protect this plant and the safety and security of the entire region. Secondly, Ukrainian sovereignty over this nuclear plant must not be disputed.
The dangers linked to the plant are so high that officials in the area have begun handing out anti-radiation iodine tablets to nearby residents. Ukraine's Foreign Minister, Dmytro Kuleba, has even described the nuclear watchdog's mission as the hardest in the history of the IAEA. Pakistan is calling for urgent international help as months of heavy rain continue to cause flooding, submerging entire regions. So far, over 1,000 people have been killed and nearly 500,000 have been forced into camps after losing their homes. The United Nations is requesting €160 million in aid for the country described as now resembling a small ocean.
Right now, 1/3 of Pakistan is underwater and 33 million are affected. This is a huge humanitarian disaster, and I would call it quite apocalyptic.
Many already fear the deadly floods are due to climate change, but scientists say it's yet too early to officially confirm that.
Well, this year's been 53 degrees plus the mercury, and we've been the hottest place on the planet. The glaciers burst, the outburst floods came down 3 times as much as they do normally. So we've had just a 300% increase. And what we saw is really the result of glacier melting, is really the result of global warming.
So far, the damage is thought to total some 10 billion euros, and the UN is warning that the situation will get worse as the rain is expected to continue. 3.1 million people have also been displaced, and humanitarian organisations are trying to help, but with much of the country's infrastructure destroyed, getting access to many remote areas is proving extremely difficult.
At least 15 protesters have been killed after an influential Shiite cleric announced he would resign from Iraqi politics. It's prompted hundreds of his angry followers to come out onto the streets and to storm the government palace. Muqtada al-Sadr announced his decision on Twitter. The 48-year-old has been a dominant figure in Iraqi public and political life for the past 2 decades. His Mehdi army emerged as one of the most powerful militias who fought the US and allied Iraqi government forces in the aftermath of the 2003 invasion.
Iraq's security, stability, and sovereignty should not be put at risk. So now's the time for dialogue, not escalated confrontation. And above all, we urge those involved to remain calm, to abstain from this violence, and pursue peaceful avenues of redress.
At least 350 people have been injured in the fighting so far. Al-Sadr is one of the few figures who could quickly mobilise hundreds of thousands of supporters onto the streets and draw them down again. As night fell, machine gunfire and explosions rung out. A nationwide curfew has been announced, while Iran closes its borders to Iraq and Kuwait urges its citizens to leave immediately.